What's going on, y'all, and welcome back. It's Sunday, so that means it's time for another weekly rotation. I hope everybody is having a fantastic weekend. So this week in my rotation, I did a lot of boozy and gourmand fragrances. The week was a little bit cooler, it was rainy, so it was perfect time to pull out some of these fall gourmands. So join me to find out what I was rocking in week number 10 of my Whiffs of the Week. Cue that intro. What's going on, my beautiful fragrance family, and welcome back to My2Scents. My name is Brian, and this is the show all about boosting your confidence through the art of fragrance, becoming a lasting scent memory. Before I get into what I was rocking this week, I just want to let everybody know, maybe you're new to this channel, every Sunday I do my weekly rotation. So it gives you something to look forward to every Sunday. It's a great way for us to share, communicate, and get to know each other by what we were rocking throughout the week. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you were rocking for the week. Maybe we matched on some of the same days. Maybe we wore one of the same fragrances. Let me know in the comments. And if you are new to this channel and you like fragrance related content, then you are in the right spot. Do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. Join this incredible fragrance family. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and flip it to all. Don't forget to hit that like button because it helps my algorithm and helps me get my 2 cents out there. And again, drop me some comments down below. All right, now it's time to just go ahead and get straight into chlorophyll, more like borophyll, whiffs and sniffs. All right, like I said, I went with a lot of boozy and gourmand fragrances this week. It was kind of on accident. I started the week off on Monday by going with a really awesome gourmand fragrance, and I went down that rabbit hole for the rest of the week, and I thoroughly enjoyed this week. Like I said, I did go with a lot more of my niche and luxury fragrances, but there are some great cheap fragrances I went with as well. So we're gonna start off with Monday. And all day Monday, I went with a fragrance that it makes me happy. And it's unique luxury. Chocolate makes me happy, and this fragrance thoroughly makes me happy. This is truly a unique and luxurious fragrance. The opening of this is dripping with chocolate. It is so good. But it's not just a gourmand, because the real star players on my skin with this are this lavender and this really nice ginger. They also have this really nice sweet benzoin, just rounding everything out. So it's almost like a fougere gourmand. This is so unique and it's very luxurious. Definitely an investment piece. These are quite expensive, but these are actually, in my opinion, worth every penny because this thing lasts all day. I showered that morning. I did not have to shower after work, and so I just kept this on. I didn't have to reapply it. I mean, it just lasts. The dry down is amazing on this. The entirety of this fragrance is incredible. All day on Monday, I went with unique luxury. Chocolate makes me happy. I felt like trying to be like Augustus and drinking this, but I knew that would be a terrible idea. Definitely an investment, but I'm super glad I made that investment. This is phenomenal. On Tuesday, it was supposed to be super rainy, and I wanted to test out a new fragrance that I got in that I've only seen one review on. And the only reason I saw that review is because I was curious about this fragrance that I was about to buy from Lucky Scent, because it was recommended while I was looking at patchouli fragrances from Lucky Scent. And it comes from the house of Profvmo, and it is Patchouli Noir. Oh my God, if you're a patchouli lover, you will love this fragrance, because this has this really interesting mint, like right up top. That also, there's no booze in the notes, but I get this kind of cognac rum vibe right off the initial blast with like a really nice sprig of mint. It has this really interesting poppy accord that gives it this powdery sweetness, and it's not like iris, so it's not makeup-y. It adds like this dusty, dry powderiness, and then you get this really nice cacao. It's like a chocolate dusting. So it's not like rich cacao. It is dusty cacao. It's really stinking good. There's this really nice ambery vanilla sweetness that flows through it that keeps it from actually getting too dry. So you do have a nice sweetness through it. Stinking good fragrance. Definitely, if you're a patchouli fan, this is an amazing fragrance. 125 bucks for 100 ml. Nobody ever talks about it. You're not gonna find a designer patchouli like this. It's incredible. And again, I went all day, got home from work, showered, threw this back on. It's that good. So come Wednesday, it was rainy. Again, cooled down a little bit. That day, called for some roasted coffee, maybe a cigarette, some whiskey. Come and get your Suede honey, baby. That's right, that's what I wore that day. That's the longest name in perfume history. It comes from Stranger's Perfumerie. We'll just call it roasted coffee. Prinlam Rose of Stranger's Perfumerie, the perfumer, the owner. He is one of my top 5 perfumers. I love what his fragrances do because they really represent a story. And this one is one of those. Kind of has this popcorn opening with whiskey. It's very interesting, but I enjoy it. And then you get into that roasted coffee and almost an ashy tobacco, which again, I really enjoy. It's kind of like you went to the carnival, you're walking around with some popcorn and a glass of whiskey for some reason, and then you're going to cure your hangover and you're having coffee and a cigarette. None of that sounds appealing, but it works in this because the dry down is phenomenal. It's definitely a legend, wait for it, dairy type of fragrance. I really love the transitions that this fragrance makes. I love it every step of the way. I don't think any of it's unappealing, but I could see to some people's noses that this could be a challenging fragrance. And it is, but it's definitely, in my opinion, a nice confidence boosting fragrance. It tells a great story. So all day, again that day, I went with just Stranger's Parfumerie Roasted Coffee. Not going through the whole name again, but I love Prin. I mean, he does phenomenal work, and this is one of them. It is got some synthetics running through because he uses a lot of aroma chemicals and synthetics, but there are some natural qualities to it. If you're looking for a really interesting take on a coffee fragrance, I definitely recommend checking out Stranger's Perfumery Roasted Coffee. Thursday, I went with a fragrance that I got last Christmas. I actually did not see a review on this. I was searching again on Lucky Scent, and I haven't worn it, but this is my third time wearing it. And it comes from Alghabra, and it's the Eye of Seven Hills. All right, so first of all, I love this bottle. It's really thick glass. It's kind of slick, but I love this bottle. And then on the back, this is a Turkish brand. I love on the back of the sticker, it has like a picture of Istanbul. And I think that I have fallen in love with Turkish houses because, wow, they make incredible fragrances. Nishane, Unique Luxury, Alghabra is fantastic. So the best way for me to describe this to you is think Initio Side Effect, but with bigger balls. Yeah, this thing is loud. This is a freaking phenomenal, long-lasting fragrance. A lot of the same similar notes as Initio Side Effect, but this leans a little bit more spicy. It's still got that whiskey. It's got that sweet vanilla and benzoin and tonka bean. This has some iris in it. It gives a little bit of a powderiness and in the heart going into the dry down. Fantastic fragrance. This is a one spray for me. One spray. If you get this on your clothes, it actually will take a couple times of washing them. On Thursday when I wore this, I put one spray on the back of my neck and one right here on my hand. This is a stupid long-lasting fragrance. So I wore this all day on Thursday, but which will lead us into Friday. So Friday, I had to get up, I had to scrub off Eye of Seven Hills because it is that long. I mean, it is that loud. It was still projecting. Scrub that off. I got another fragrance on Thursday that I wanted to test out, and it's the new one from Authenticity Perfumes, and it's Tobacco Boss. All right, so I'm not gonna go too far into this fragrance because I'm gonna do a full review on this. I did purchase this fragrance, and the shipping was super quick on this. This is my take on this so far. It's a very sweet, honeyed, rich tobacco. It's very sweet. I went over to Jeremy's that day, and he was like, "What are you wearing, man? You kind of smell like a head shop." I can get that. There's no cannabis in this. It doesn't smell like that. It's just a very sweet tobacco, almost like a really sweet hookah tobacco. It's a little syrupy, and I'll just say this, I did spray a little too many sprays, and I had to scrub it off later that day just because it kind of gave me a headache. But I'm going to be doing a full review on this coming up this week, so stay tuned for that. So that day I wore the new one from Authenticity. Stay tuned for my full review. That evening, I was like, you know what, I'm going to scrub this off, and I want to go back with something gourmand. So I went with Terence Hughes Forbidden. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm an Terence Hughes fanboy. I freaking love the house. There isn't a single fragrance that I have that I don't enjoy. And I only have like one or two that only last 8 hours. Only 8 hours. Anyways, he's got a unicorn for life. Forbidden, rum, and a Tootsie Roll. I mean, there's more to it than that, but it smells a lot like a Tootsie Roll dipped in this beautiful rum. Opens a little fresh. There's gonna be some patchouli, and I think this also has some oud in it. It is phenomenal. Buying a 10 mil will last you quite some time. 10 mils, man. I mean, 30, 40 bucks. I think it's worth it. This is a great way to test drive. Definitely check out Terence Hughes if you get the opportunity. Forbidden, sweet, it's seductive, it's sexy, it's booze, and it's chocolate. 100% unisex. I think this would smell phenomenal on a lady, and it smells phenomenal on me. Probably also smell phenomenal on you. Definitely check out Terence Hughes, forbidden. Okay, Friday, I did my first impressions of the new Etat Libre d'Orange, Ghost in the Shell. So Saturday, I rocked Ghost in the Shell. Now, if you watch my first impressions, you know that I was very kind of perplexed by this fragrance. If you had not seen that episode, I'll leave a card right here for you so you can go check it out. I'll also leave it in the description below. Rubber, metallic, floral, soapy, fresh, clean. It's an interesting combination of ingredients, kind of lactonic with this milkiness from this milky skin accord. I sprayed 6 sprays of this on Saturday. It surprised me because I got a lot of attention from this. Jeremy's wife, who never ever compliments me on my fragrances, said I smelled phenomenal. And for me, I'm like, well, this still kind of smells weird to me. Then when I was at Walmart, I got 3 unsolicited compliments from just random people. It's like, what is this? Like, what is this cybernetic beast? This makes me believe in Skynet. I think the world's coming to an end because they did a phenomenal job actually creating the story within this fragrance because it is peculiar. It truly represents Ghost in the Shell, the anime, because it's just ironic. It's weird, but it makes sense. Definitely pulled in some compliments. I was actually very surprised. I'm gonna say that I like this fragrance. I'm not in love with it yet, but I like it. 6-7 hours of longevity, soapy, fresh, clean, rubbery, metallic. It's a good fragrance. It's weird, but it's good. So for that day, I rocked Ghost in the Shell. That evening, I got home and I was feeling coffee again, mixed with a little bit of chocolate and some whiskey. So I went with Halloween Man X. Per milliliter, this is the cheapest and best gourmand coffee, whiskey, chocolate fragrance that you can buy. Sub $30 range, fantastic. I get pretty good longevity out of it, 5-6 hours. But for the price, I don't care. So there is a coffee accord in this, but it's like a dark roasted coffee, dipped in some chocolate with a little bit of vanilla and woods to create this whiskey accord. And it's a really good fragrance. Does not smell overly synthetic. I don't understand why it's called Halloween Man X. Maybe I'll wear this on Halloween. I don't know. But regardless of the name, it's a fantastic fragrance. And if you haven't tried it yet, you definitely need to because this is going to be great this fall and winter. Halloween Man X. All right, it's NFL Sunday. So what am I going to be rocking for NFL Sunday? I'm going with another new one. Brand new release. I'm going with Sarah Baker Loudo. This is such a good oud fragrance. This is a fantastic fragrance because it almost reminds me of what Oud and Bergamot from Joe Malone does because it's a fresh take on oud, but this one, instead of staying quite fresh, this one does warm up. The Laos oud in this kind of reminds me of the Laos oud that's in some of the Portnikoffs, just not as funky and animalic. You start out with bergamot, neroli, and petitgrain, and I also get some oud in there. Then you get this really interesting tart, dark cherry, and the dark cherry blends really well with this really nice white chocolate. It's an interesting composition that is gonna be in my top 10, maybe top 5 best niche fragrances of 2021. This is phenomenal. If you're new to oud, this would be a perfect beginner's oud. It can be worn dressed up or dressed down. Fantastic fragrance. There is a bit of a gourmand vibe throughout the heart and the dry down, but I wouldn't call this gourmand, but it's phenomenal. So all day today, I'm gonna be rocking Sarah Baker Loudo. So that's it, guys. If you want me to review any of these fragrances that you saw here today, do full reviews, I just need you guys to let me know in the comments. So this week I'm going to be posting a bunch of polls up on the community tab, so stay tuned for those. I want to see what you guys are interested in, what you want me to review. With that being said, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your night. If you enjoyed today's episode, then do me a favor, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Whoever your NFL team is, I hope you all do fantastic today. Unless you are the Cowboys, the Giants, or the Eagles. Go Washington football team. Just kidding. We're gonna suck. Anyways, always remember you are stinking beautiful. And until next time, happy scent trails.